Recently, fellow YouTuber Peter Zelinka posted a video where he showcased how he could tweak the settings of his ASIAIR to get noticeably better tracking. So today I'm going to try to replicate those results and see if I can also improve the tracking of my setup despite using vastly different equipment. To start with, I took a baseline. This is what I'm going to be comparing my results against. This is what my guiding setup is with my current settings. So I went in and I cleared my guide settings. And the first thing I noticed was when I recalibrated the guiding, it only took the east-west steps of 3 in each direction. This indicates that my calibration steps are too high. What it does is it basically moves the telescopes a certain amount of milliseconds between each step, and when it reaches a certain distance from its original position, it swaps over and goes the other way. Now, ideally, according to Mr. Zelinka's video, this should be between like 10 or 12 to 15. That kind of area seems to be good. I did also, of course, check with that calibration what my guiding was like, and I got around 1.8 to 1.9 total RMS. And RMS is the root mean square, so it's like and it's a method of calculating something like an average. It's not really an average, but something like an average of the total error that it detects. So the first step was pretty clear. I went into my settings and I lowered my calibration steps. And again, this is just to try and get a better initial calibration. After I did that, I went in and I recalibrated my guiding, and I saw that it now went up to a step of 13. However, when it looped around, it only started at 4. I'm not really sure why I did that, because all the guides and all the tutorials and everything I read says that it should take the same amount of steps on each side, both east and west side. In my case here, it did 13 in one and then it swapped directly over to 3 in the other direction. Not sure why it did that, but I decided just to move on and see if it had improved anything, and it actually had. I was now down to a 1.5 total error, which is a noticeable improvement for just changing a single setting. But we are only just getting started. There's a load more things that we can fine tune. The next thing he suggested was that you go into your mount setting and you adjust the guide speed. However, as he was using a AM5 and I'm using a Meet LX75, which is two completely different. His is harmonic, one of those fancy new harmonic drive mounts, strain rate drives, and mine is just a more traditional German equatorial mount. Mine has a on-step controller on it, and I did not have access to this setting. It might be because that setting has not been exposed by the on-step software, and maybe they can't control it from the ASIAIR. I might be able to find this setting if I went directly and connected directly to the on-step controller and not went through the ASIAIR. But as this video was mostly about trying to set up the settings, I decided just to skip this step and move straight on to the next set of settings. So one thing I noticed when I was looking at the guide error graphs was that my right ascension was kind of bouncing up and down, just waving up and down. This is an indication that it takes too aggressive steps when it's trying to compensate for the error. So basically it noticed that it is not where it's supposed to be, it tries to compensate, it overcompensates, and then it tries to move the other direction, overcompensates in that direction, and you get this like waving motion up and down. So to try and combat this, I went in and adjusted the maximum step length, basically. This is how long it is allowed to slew the telescope in milliseconds between each time it takes a picture. So it takes a picture with your guide scope, it calculates how far it's off, it tries to move the telescope where it thinks it should be, takes another picture and repeats that process. You can adjust how long it's allowed to slew the telescope in between each picture. And again, if this is too long, then you might see that waving motion. If it's too low, it might not be able to actually reach the zero line. So fine-tuning this can be quite important to try and limit how much it's allowed to slew. The other thing you can also do to try to tune this out is to adjust these aggressiveness percentages that sits here right next to the graph. This is basically just a factor on how far it moves compared to how far it thinks it's supposed to move. So if you set this to 100%, it says I am, let's say, 0.5 arc seconds away, and it's going to try to slew 0.5 arc seconds. Now, this might be okay, but in many cases, you're actually better off setting this to something lower, so it purposely tries to undershoot, but that means it can stepwise get closer and closer, and again, this can combat these waving motions. So I played around with these these aggressiveness percentages. I played around with the maximum step length to try and see if I could improve my settings like this. And it's just basically trial and error. I tried to move it in one direction, see if it improved, move the percentages in another direction, see if it improved. Just kept playing around with these settings until I got something that was better. This allowed me to get all the way down to around 1 arc second of total error, which is really good. I mean, we almost halved it from just tweaking my settings. I felt like my stars on my guide scope was a little bit out of focus, so I decided to run through a refocus routine and just refocus my guide scope. I do have plans for making videos dedicated on how to focus a guide scope using the ASIAIR. So if you don't know, or if you're interested in that, get subscribed below. So after I refocused, I decided to reset my calibration and recalibrate my guiding. And I was happy to see that now it did go 13 steps in one direction and then 13 steps in the others, as it was supposed to. So I don't know why it only did 4 initially, if it was a bug or what was happening, but it seems to have solved itself when I reset it and did it again. What I also did now was I began to play around with the total exposure times of my guide frame. So it was currently set to 2 seconds. I tried to bump it up to 3, maybe try to get some of the fainter stars that it seems to like to focus on, get them a little bit brighter. But of course this means that all the work that I've just done with fine-tuning these aggressiveness percentages and the maximum step size had to be redone. I have to go through and play around with all these settings again, moving some of them up, moving some of them down, see if things improved. After all that tuning, I got my right ascension error down to a 0.8 and my declination down to a 0.3. I am really happy with those results. The total error was around 0.9, remembering that we started at 1.9, so we've more than halved the total error by just playing around with the settings. I haven't changed any equipment. I refocused and I played around with the settings, and I more than halved my total error on guiding. I am really happy with the results so far. I think if I spent a bit more time on that right ascension, I really had a hard time getting it down to the same level with the declination. It might be that I'm limited mechanically here, I don't know. But I think with a bit more time and a bit more fine tuning, I might be able to get that down a little bit. But honestly, anything under 1 arc second of total RMS is pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with those results. Thank you, Peter, for posting that video. I am really happy with the results that I got. Now, if any of you have been inspired to go out and try to improve your own guide setup using this method, again, I'll be linking Peter's video in the description below, and I'd also love to know what kind of results you get in the comments. Tell us a bit about your equipment and how good your guiding is, both before and after tweaking the settings. One thing that is often criticized for is its Wi-Fi, and together we're going to try to fix that today. We're going to test a number of different solutions. This is a Meade LXD 75. I got this second hand. It's a 6-inch Newtonian and got a